But
Butts.
Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to Sunday Brunch Club presents Utharian Legends back here on our original home at Chaotic Tiefling ATL. We are so pleased and proud to be here telling these stories and sharing them with you, and we are so glad that you've all come along with us to join us on that journey. We do have a couple of quick things to mention as we get started, and then we will jump into where we were before. I want to go ahead and thank folks who have been already tossing subs our way at level 3 hype train to get us started off this
already
morning. So, yep. So that is wonderful, and we thank you. I saw Mama Strange in there tossing gift subs, and I saw Jess in there, and all sorts of wonderful folks. So thank you again for all of that. We do have a sub goal that is currently going on for the month of August. If we can get to 40 total subs this month, before the end of August, we will be doing a Die Hard Dice giveaway for everyone that is currently subbed. So you don't even have to be watching us at the time in which we hit that goal. As long as you are subscribed, you are good to go.
Yep, I have the dice right here. I have a really fun purple, and if it'll focus, but a really fun purple and gold Chaotic Tiefling colors. A fireball colored dice, which totally matches Jess's aesthetic completely right now.
And her casting habits.
Exactly. Some fun pink and gold sparklies, and we have a mystery pack. I don't know what's in here. It's completely unopened and in a fun holographic bag.
So is it the dice that you got me for Christmas a couple years ago?
I don't know.
Purple and gold ones, these ones?
No, these are the other purple and gold ones.
Okay, never mind.
Yeah. So
my camera seems to be a little bit nicer today.
Yes. All of those will be going to one lucky person if we reach that goal.
So get those subs in, and of course, subbing and tossing bits and all the rest of it helps support Chaotic Tiefling, this wonderful cast, and all of the wonderful things that this group puts on over the course of all of the months, whether that's Babs playing video games for us, whether that's what streams may come, whether that is other currently unannounced projects. All of that is helped and handled by your support, and we truly appreciate it. We're going to go ahead and go around the table, let everybody introduce themselves, let us know if there's anything going on, and talk a bit. So I'm just going to go in clockwise order from where I see it on my screen. So that means that the recently returned to Twitch streaming, Gloriosa, is up first.
Hello, I am Blaze of Gloriosa, playing Gloriosa. I will be your resident artificer person with the booms, and I have returned to streaming. I stream every once in a while on my channel, Blaze of Gloriosa. So, and the Twitter is Blaze of Gloriosa as well. So, that's it. That's all.
All right, and Miss Jessica, you are up next.
Hey there, I am Jessica Skellington. I am your very peppy this morning for whatever fucked up reason, Lady of Shadows. Probably it's the hair. It's the hair. Is it the hair? It's the hair.
It's always the hair.
Anywho, yeah, I play Alma Verfolkt, your super sassy surprise Eladrin elf, and I'm interested to see what we're gonna get into today.
All right, Finn, you are up next.
Oh, hi, hello. It is me, the Finn Archer person thing. Hey, demons, it's me, your boy. Today, and almost all other days, I'm going to realize which sentence I'm trying to start before I start it in a minute. You can find me at Bloodhaven Bard on the Twitters, which is the place to find all of my social media things. I funnel it all through that channel or that platform. You can find me on Chaotic Tiefling playing Robin, the just such bullshit bard, and also playing the zero bullshit wizard, Caldrix Derak on Ampistrano D&D on the D&D Jordan Lee channel as well. Today, I am brought to you by chemistry and spite and willpower, because humidity and pressure systems will not destroy my face. They will just make it much more determined to get to you fine people. Wow.
Okay, I just want to make a note that your captions called it Campistrano, and now I need just like summer camp Ampistrano.
And I'll roast all the marshmallows.
Or a campy episode.
I feel like
Or
it's already
both.
pretty campy.
I feel like you could do both at once.
Camp
But
rock.
Campistrano would then turn it into a pun.
Right.
Camp Rock.
Yeah.
Robo.
It's me, Robo Albert. I don't even know these days. You can find me at TTRPGibbs on Twitter and on Twitch. And I'm also, you can check my Twitter for, there's a link if you can donate to fund the Radiant Crossroads, which is an all POC Journeys Through the Radiant Citadel anthology show. And you can go directly to my Twitter and, donate if you can. If not, spread the word. That's also helpful. Thank you. But today, welcome to Idle Champions Corner. Here, this corner. And amazing news. Boronika, the Dark Lord of Koshmar, is joining the Black Dice Society Champions on August 10th. Which is Boronika is played by the awesome B Muse, lovely friend. But also, Familiar Quest returns on August 15th with Nega Oryx, Michelle Nguyen, Bradley, Gabe Hicks, Eugenio Vargas, Hope LaBelle, and DM Latia Jaquis. At 5 p.m. PST, 8 p.m. EST. With these new friends joining the table, you can grab the bundled pack of familiars in game on August 8th. If you just go there. And that me.
And Babs, you are last but not least this time.
Oh, hello. It's me, your friendly neighborhood after the bat, with my giant mug that may not have a flat mimosa in it. But, hello. We are so happy to be back on the Chaotic Tiefling channel. We love the D4 crew. We loved being on their channel. But for the ease of everything, it just felt right to come back home. And we're happy that you're here with us. With that, we do have some other new affiliations. We are affiliated with Geek Grind Coffee, which is an amazing nerdy coffee company that makes it's all Colombian coffee. They have their own coffee farm down in Colombia. They do all the planting, the harvesting, the everything. And I know Finn and I we buy coffee from there all the time. They have Labyrinth themed coffee, which is some of our favorites. And tea. They have D&D themed coffee. They have Pathfinder coffee. They have a new Princess Bride coffee that I still need to order. And then we have a discount code for a whole 20% off. Like, it's a chunk. So you can either click that link in the chat, or you can just put the code into the discount code thing when you do the whole checkout stuff. And save money. And support this cast and the channel and all of that. We also have the same for Friday Tea, which is another amazing nerdy company. Are you drinking Friday Tea right now, Robo?
Yeet, I am.
Ooh, which one are you drinking?
It's the PNW Jamaica.
Ooh, that sounds yummy.
So good.
So that's how it's pronounced. Okay.
Yeah.
I saw
It's
the
not
tweets about
Jamaica.
how it's not pronounced Jamaica, and I'm like, okay, well,
Yeah.
I know not to pronounce it that way, but now I have no idea how it's pronounced.
But Friday has some really cool blends based on synesthesia, based on music, fandoms, so many different things. Friday is a tea wizard, and we stand Friday. So go over there, and you can use our code to get 10% off your order and all of that. And we have Utharian Legends is back. We're already here. What Streams May Come is coming back. And we're gonna miss Jess being in the host seat. But, she's doing cool shit in real life. So...
And I gotta be an adult.
And be in charge and stuff.
No. But I will be back as a cast member.
That's
Sometimes.
even... I feel like that's more exciting.
I know you guys actually get to see me act when I come back as a cast member.
Yee.
So, which I think the last time I did that was when we did the Scottish play.
Yeah.
That was so much fun.
It really was.
So, but I love all of our players, and just because I'm not going to be in the host seat, Babs and Finn have got your back, and I will still be hanging around.
Yeah. And I think, Finn, we're going to try and get casting stuff out this week.
Casting stuff will go out this week. We'll look for it in your email boxes the next couple of days, my people, because it is time to play again.
I know we have a whole bunch of new people that have submitted, so I'm excited to see who we get for this encore of Merry Wives. So, and then, yeah, I'm also video gaming throughout the week. Tomorrow we have Meditation Monday. We're going to start at 9 a.m. with a nice, ambient, just music, calming videos for, 45 minutes before we jump into some Minecraft. And then I was going to start mini painting tomorrow, but I have to go pick up my husband from the airport. So, yep. And then
Yes,
we're playing,
please. I'm sure he and everyone else would appreciate that.
and then I'm playing the kitty cat game on Tuesday. So, yeah. But there's a lot of stuff happening, y'all. So much stuff happening. But right now, it's time. Let's focus on this game and not getting eaten by dragons.
Dragons who just got leveled up, even.
Stop telling people that.
I mean, I can not tell you when they level up next time if you'd prefer.
Both options are
Like,
bad.
Oh, yeah.
What if there were just no dragons? What about that option?
Then those Dungeons End?
And dragons?
I mean, if no dragons, then no Tish.
Oh.
Yeah.
Then no.
Oh, no.
Shall we roll the intro?
Yes,
let's
roll
roll
the
the intro and get
intro.
this show on the road.
But
And that's why you only apply topic.
Welcome back, everybody.
Oh, sorry.
Thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and kick right off with where we left last time. So, I don't think we can call them heroes. We actually
What?
discussed
Rude.
going to neutral characters after the last session.
Gloriosa is a hero. Gloriosa hasn't lost sight of what we're doing here.
It's an assorted trail mix of heroes and other flavors.
I mean, sometimes you get an M&M, sometimes you get a cashew. That's just how that goes.
Right, that's how it goes.
When we last left our protagonists, they had traveled to Lumia, had found some interesting information in a bar, and then split the party in a calculated tactical maneuver that led to Alma in a box. There was a rescue that was 100% reasonable and absolutely did not escalate or go beyond the bounds of reason and good sense. And now everyone is fine and good to go. And I believe that everyone was headed back to the inn for rest that evening. Is that more or less where we left off?
I think we had just gotten done spilling all of our feels.
Well,
Yeah.
there were some feels that were spilled, but a lot of them remained in the pitcher for later spilling, I think.
Yeah, Robin and Glory just kind of GTFO.
That's true.
We went and
We
got
have
some-
ice cream.
Yeah, we
There was
went-
ice cream.
We had
That's
ice
true.
cream things, and then we went back to the inn in Lumia.
Okay, so Tish and Alma had the feels talk.
No,
Lunas
we-
was there too.
And Lunas,
was-
that's right.
Lunez was MVP of that feels talk. I gotta say, like that was some good therapy, friend therapy. Lunez right there.
Basta.
No, it was the best. You're the best. You're the hero we don't deserve.
So with that, we will pick up on everyone sort of returning to the inn. If you would all like to go ahead and rest and pick up at breakfast the next morning, we can do that. I know that there are a lot of people who are down spell slots and hit points and other such things that you might want a good long rest for. If you'd rather pick up that evening, we can also do that. What would you all like to do?
I mean, I don't know about everybody else, but nobody's seeing Rob until the next morning. He's gone. He promised the next morning he would talk, but he is out like the light.
I'm guessing that since we're underground, there's no stars here, right?
That is correct.
Mm.
There are some lights. A lot of the ceilings sort of this level where there's residential have like little beads that are that have a continual light spell cast on them that are then embedded into the ceiling of this level, giving like an illusion of like starlight, but it's not actual stars, and they're certainly not put in like constellations or anything of that sort.
Got it. And it's pretty late. How do we know? How does that work here? Like,
So generally, time of day is something that is it is kept by clocks. There are water clocks and spring wound clocks that are throughout the city, but most of the populace tracks time not by what clocks necessarily say, because there generally aren't a ton of them around, but rather by how the lighting on the streets operates. As the evening begins, those lights start to come up in a brighter way to sort of simulate, okay, it's nighttime and now there are lights. And then as the evening progresses and gets closer to the wee hours of the morning, those lights again begin to fade and sort of dim as that goes. So a lot of the populace sort of tracks what time it is, less by a clock and more by what do the lights outside of the building seem like.
okay. So we're going back to the inn.
Yeah, it is
Oh.
probably roughly 10, 11 p.m., give or take.
Okay. Are we there in the inn, or did
Yes,
somebody
you
stop
have,
for
you
it?
have made it to the inn without any problems.
Okay. So I'm guessing Tish and Alma are with me. So I'm just be like, So,
I thought you left
What do-
before us.
what?
I thought you left a little bit before us.
No, I was with you the whole time.
Okay.
Like, so I'm guessing it's late. I don't know. It's weird to tell time here, but I'm going to my room. We're going to my room. I motion to Orion. Do we need to talk more about this, or should we wait to the morning?
I mean, you guys need sleep. I don't. Y'all get some rest. I'll see you in the morning.
Okay. And I
Te
just
amo, hermano.
love you too. I just go to my room, but not before I knock on Gloriosa's room and see if she's around.
Gloriosa sort of came in, probably like trailing behind Robin, letting him say his piece, and just like earlier was like, okay, good night, everybody. So when Luna's like knocks on her door, she's already like in her nightgown and stuff. But she's gonna answer and be pretty happy to see him. Like, hi, Luna's. Hi, Orion.
Hi. So we just got back from that. Did you talk to Finn? Finn? Who's Finn? Did you talk to Robin?
Yeah. Yes. I mean, it's going to be an interesting breakfast.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm sure it is. How are you?
How are you? How are you doing?
I'm gonna be okay. Hopefully. Yeah. But how are you?
About the same. Hopefully. This trip hasn't been like a lot of our previous ones. Like I feel like the last few months have been just so crazy.
It's been a lot, and yeah. I know it's weird, but every time we're having a good time, or about having a good time, something like this happens. I don't know if that's just me or
Yeah.
but yeah, I've been noticing that a lot. So that's probably why I was quiet this whole time, because everybody was having a good time and I'm just thinking about what comes next. And I probably shouldn't do that because, well, just should be just enjoying the moment. It's pretty late, so I don't know if you want to talk about that later in the morning, but sorry. Have a good
No,
night.
it's okay. It's okay. You can. Do you want to come in and do you? I mean, if something's on your mind, like we can totally talk. It's fine. It's okay.
Okay. And we both come in. What does your room look like? What does it's
so-
pretty- yeah, it's a in room, so I'm guessing there's not much Gloriosa stuff here.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably like bits and bobs all over the place. Like on the nightstand, there's probably like a few like cogs and like springs, and there's probably like tools scattered on like whatever desk is in the room. Like it's definitely like one of those things that she kind of makes it her own. Like there's clutter everywhere. There are probably like sleeping, her little beehive is sitting on the desk as well. And there's probably like some bees like sleeping around the sides of it and stuff. So little mechanical bees. They're very, very sleepy. It's nighttime.
Okay.
So, Glorious is going to ask, is it hard for you not having like an open sky? Because it's all stone and it feels kind of
Yeah.
distracted and like claustrophobic. That's the word I was looking for.
It's not claustrophobic. It is weird to just not see the stars and know what's happening around me. And usually I just go outside and watch the constellations and talk to Orion and just let my thoughts be out loud. That make sense? It's like thinking out loud while watching the stars. So I just, since I don't have that, I came here to talk to you before I go to sleep. But yeah, that's what's been happening.
So, what's on your mind?
A lot. um, I just feel like different since I came back. Um, I think I actually died on the dragon fight, and the weird thing is I don't remember anything. I didn't see any light. It was just all darkness. And I don't watching well, when I heard that Alma was in danger, I just didn't want to I don't want to lose anybody. I don't want them to go to darkness or whatever it is. But um yeah, I'm just worried for you all.
Did it hurt when you? I mean, I'm sure the injuries like hurt, but when you died.
I don't think so. It was just like falling asleep. Um I do remember that I wanted to hold on to the stone as hard as I could. So we could get back Alma's friend. I think I just remember coming back and I was on well Tish had me on one of their claws and Ramen on the other one. I think just I saw Ramen not moving and then I passed out. I I just don't want people to fall. Just, you know.
Can I give you a hug?
Yeah.
So, Glorious is just gonna sort of like give him not even just like a light hug, just like a big squishy like bear hug.
Yeah, me too. Lunas hugs you hard back.
I'm so sorry that you had to do that, Lunas, and I'm sorry that it wasn't. Sorry. I'm sorry we don't have the stone even after you did all of that because it was very brave.
Thank you. I just I didn't want Alma to lose her only friend outside of us.
Well, I don't want to lose you either, friend. I mean, I really, I like having you here. We're really lucky to have you here. And we're, I feel very lucky that you call me friend. Very lucky.
You are my friend. Well, it's late. I'll just probably go to my room. But thank you for this talk, Gloriosa. I really needed it. I just I'm thinking out loud, and Orion hears me, of course, but it's nice to talking to somebody else.
I'm here whenever you need to talk, Lunas.
I am too. I'm here for you too.
Sleep well. Don't stay up all night. You don't have any stars to keep you up.
I won't. Good night.
Night.
Then I just go to my room.
Anyone else up to anything before calling it an evening?
I think Alma's probably going to stay down in the lobby. Is there a place for her to get a tea or a coffee?
Yeah, generally the kitchen is closed, but there's somebody, sort of at the front desk, so to speak, and they can bring you some hot water and some tea.
What does the lobby look like? Like, is there a fireplace? Is it like...
So there's a fireplace. This particular inn doesn't have like a stage or anywhere where somebody would perform. There's a small common room, but it's not particularly large. This particular inn is known more for actual rooms for let as opposed to being like a tavern where people spend a lot of time. So generally people either take their meals in their rooms or, in sort of not quite formally staggered shifts, but in small groups in the common room, as far as that goes. So it's, maybe half a dozen tables at most, mostly small, 2 to 4 people sized spaces, sorts of things.
Are there any like cozy looking armchairs hanging around?
There are 2 decent sized armchairs by the fireplace.
Okay. So she is going to go up to the desk and ask for a cup of basically what their version, I guess, of chamomile tea would be. And then go sit in the chair, and she's going to just set her mug down, add a little bit of honey to it, and then reach into her pouch and take out a piece of parchment and her writing implement, and she's going to just start writing for just a little bit.
Okay. And Tish, you doing anything specific?
Tish will probably, if everyone else is going to just go to bed, Tish will probably just kind of like acknowledge Alma good night before going upstairs, and will go lay on the floor of Robin's room.
Okay. So the evening passes pretty uneventfully. There's no disturbances, no monster attacks, nothing like that. Alma, at about the equivalent of maybe 4:30 in the morning or so, you feel a sensation that is best described as like a reminder or a pang of loss. It's a sudden thing. It doesn't seem to come from anything. Like, it's not triggered by something you're writing or reading. No one has said anything. No one has done anything. It's just this sensation like you've lost something. It's a fleeting sensation. It's over within a moment. But it is definitely a noticeable feeling that right at that moment, something was lost.
She's going to sit up in her chair just a second and just kind of a little bit straighter. Just kind of look around. Does she have any inclination of what that might be?
Give me an insight check.
Totally grab my tray. 12.
Okay. And give me a religion check.
That's 10.
Okay. So it's not the clearest of signs as far as everything goes, but you get the feeling that with your increased connection to the weave of fate, with your nature and your status with the goddess of fate, you're guessing that you may be slightly more attuned to when that weave shifts and changes than you probably were before. It's not something that you've got a super keen sense of. It's something that you're probably just sort of developing, but something that was close enough to your strand in the weft changed significantly enough that the echo of that change was felt on your strand.
That's concerning. She's gonna nod, obviously to herself, because she's gonna sit back in her chair. And I'm assuming there's a fire going in the fireplace right now.
It's a low fire, but yes, there is somewhat.
So what she's gonna do, she's gonna look at the embers as they're just kind of softly glowing, and with the small flames that are still flickering above, and kind of licking what's left of the logs and the air above it, and she's kind of watch it dance for a little while, and then she's just gonna say softly, and I, out of character, am fucking terrible with names in real life, and for here, I'm terrible again too. What's my goddess's name again?
Vitune, goddess of
Vitune. Aha. And so she's just gonna, just kind of like, not necessarily hypnotized, but just kind of looking at the fire, but not really looking at the fire, and just say, Vitune, what was that?
Roll me a D100.
All right, if I lag, just bear with me, because I don't have enough resources to do this. Do we have one on D&D Beyond?
Just roll 2d10s.
Or yeah, you can just roll 2d10s to do.
One's the tens place, one's the ones place.
Yeah.
Okay, that works too.
But yeah, it's the one with the 2 dice in that symbol on D&D Beyond is D100.
There it is. Got it. All right. Hopefully I don't get kicked off. I love you, Vidu. $14.
Okay. There is a very distinct feeling of movement in and amongst your papers, the papers that you've been writing. And as you sort of look over at it, the fire crackles and spits a bit, and it kicks up just enough of a breeze that the pages that you've been writing on sort of push a little bit to the side and reveal the very bottom page of the stack of papers. And there's writing on it in not your hand that was not there when you sat down.
She's gonna lean down and push the top pages to the side to read what's on the bottom sheet.
The bottom sheet says, "I'm sorry for your loss, child. May her memory be a blessing."
Thank you. And she is going to neatly put her papers back together, fold them up, put them back in her satchel with her quill. And she is going to take her meditated rest. Or try.
Okay. Your meditation is more troubled than it usually is. There are more thoughts that intrude at the edges of your thoughts and your meditation as far as that goes, but it is still enough to be considered restful as far as that goes. But there's less of the sensation of calm that normally follows your evening meditations. Your body is rejuvenated, but your mind is still as troubled as it was in the beginning.
I hate nights like that. Okay. Well, she'll probably still try to do her meditative rest and try kind of like that whole like, no, I don't want to get up. I don't want to get up. Nope, don't do it. Until the rest of the party is awake and just trying to just eke out as much of that restful rest for her brain as she can, despite the brain goblins trying to nom at them.
All right. And with that, dawn will come. There are no animals on this level that would signal the coming of a dawn, but there is more light outside of windows and other sorts of secondary indicators. And for those that sleep a little more lightly, the sounds of a city slowly but surely coming to life as the populace begins their day.
Robin will sit up, kind of sore from staying in one spot the whole night. You know how those nights go, where you didn't move at all in your sleep and you're all stiff and sore in the morning. So he'll wake up feeling about like that. And as he sits up in bed, he'll notice that Tish is sleeping on the floor. And so he'll just look over and...
At this point, Tish probably would have, like, sat up and is at least, like, resting, sitting on the floor, but with their back against the wall.
Got it. Well, he'll sit up and see Tish sitting over there. And... Do we still hate beds, Trinket?
You were soundly asleep, and we didn't want to disturb you.
He gives a little smile. I appreciate it. However, I think we've crossed over the line where it's okay for you to snuggle up if you need to share some space. We've nearly died together. We're on the road together. We're on the run together. You don't have to give up a bed for me.
The floor is not so bad.
Well, I suppose. What can you say when you're raised in a cave, right?
Very true. Wood floors are significantly softer than stone floors.
And I grew up where wood floors were the absolute worst. All we ever got. So, excuse me if I take a little cushion every now and again. And he starts to get up and gather his things. And that's when he says, but I think everyone needs a little bit of a reset before we take on the next job. Isn't that right? How was everything after I left? How were Lunez and Alma by the time they returned here?
We had a very needed conversation. And Alma and I worked out some things that were apparently unspoken between us.
Sure.
But I feel like there's still a lot unspoken between the party and Alma and the changes she's been going through.
Well, then it's about damn time we did some answers.
And I think everyone is in a position now to have that conversation
All right.
properly.
I think I know just the place. Let's
Okay.
gather everybody up.
Over food?
I'm going to at least need some coffee, but I don't know how much I need to stomach before this morning. So I'll go grab coffee. We should probably leave the inn, and I think we need to find a spot to sit and talk. And so Robin will go down.
Usually serious conversations go better when you have food.
And that's fair.
And coffee.
Hence the coffee. But every now and again, and Robin pulls like a little bead out of his pocket, and he starts like rolling it back and forth between his fingers and playing with it, and he'll say, sometimes when you're nervous, best not to load up the stomach.
What does that one do?
Hopefully gives us some privacy. And then he starts heading towards the door and heading downstairs to get some coffee.
And Tish will follow.
Who's next coming downstairs?
Probably Gloriosa. She will stop at Lunas's room and tap on the door because it's become habit for her to like go wake up Lunas and collect him and bring him downstairs.
And you just hear, okay, I'm up. Hang on, I'm up. Okay.
Good morning, Lunas.
Morning. Coming up.
Okay. All right. Okay.
I just Do we take showers here? I don't think so. So I'm just gonna prestidigitate myself and go outside my room. Morning.
Good.
I just say to everybody.
I will have a mimosa, please. And thank you, whoever, if assuming there's like a place to get food in the inn and it's not just an inn.
So there is food in the inn, but it's more a Motel 6 continental breakfast than like we're cooking a whole lot of stuff.
The
So
cereal.
it's pretty basic sort of. There are some cereal grains that are available. There's a little bit of warmed food, some warm bread, that sort of thing. But there's not like a proper kitchen in this inn, so they generally like bring in some stuff from outside for the morning, but that's about it.
So Gloriosa will go down the line with like a pancake and like put some eggs on there and put some like bacon on there and like then roll the pancake up and sort of start munching on that and look desperately for something alcoholic, and finding nothing will settle for coffee.
Where did you? Is that a Don's Harbor thing? I've never seen a pancake like that. Ah, I'm gonna try it. I'll do the same.
What are we making?
See, so first,
Pancake roll-ups.
pancake roll-ups. So just
Oh,
put the
wow.
pancake and
Paquito.
oh my god,
Instead of a Paco, it's a Paquito.
a paquito.
A Paquito.
So it's a pancake, and you just put the bacon and honey, and then you just roll it. Other side, other side. Oh, there you go.
Would butter make this better?
Always. Every
Yeah.
time.
Where do I put the butter?
Put it in the, if you put it under the warmer stuff, like put it under eggs or whatever, like against the pancake, it'll melt into the pancake and it'll be all like super buttery.
Tish will like carefully take off the bacon covered in honey and set it down, and then like find some butter and just like smear it on the pancake, and then put the bacon and honey back on top and then roll it up.
The mom in
Delicious.
me is freaking out right now, knowing that you just used your hands to do that. And now there's gonna be sticky
Oh
honey all
yeah,
over the place.
100% like scooped it, put it on the counter or the table, like no plate or anything underneath it. Like
Freaking out.
I'm down for making a big old mess.
You just invading paquitos. Good for you, Gloria.
And then take a napkin that's not damp. I'm gonna take a napkin that's like not dampened. So I'm like gonna try to wipe it up, and there are probably pieces of napkin now stuck in the honey.
honey is very sticky, but it is very delicious. And Tish will like lick their fingers and get all the honey and stuff off. You're muted.
Yeah, I thought I had. Yay, goblins. Yeah, you're giving Jess anxiety right now.
I can't laugh that hard. Ow.
Alma 100% is the use a damn coaster person. Oh man.
Is ramen here?
Robin will be sitting as close to the door as he can. Like if there's a kind of like a breakfast bar in here, he's kind of hunched over nursing his coffee. But he's packed up, like he's ready to go. He's got all of his bag is very roughly sewn together. Because if you'll recall that there was a slight rupture
A
in terms of-
Gloriosa-sized rupture.
There's a Gloriosa-sized rupture to Robin's bag that he was carrying. So there's a very like, mostly just like the biggest puncture holes and rawhide that's just holding his bag together at the moment. It's very, very much
It's a very crude sewing job.
not artisan work. But you know what? He didn't have a lot of time to do any mending to it last night, so he just went ahead to bed. Well, that was a job for tomorrow's Robin.
So hey, Strike, if I use the spell mending, will it fix for Robin's backpack?
Yes, it will.
Okay, so Glorious is gonna come over with her like pancake in one hand and slightly sticky fingers and like just poke at the bag.
No, it's all sticky.
Fixing with honey.
What are you?
Mending with
Glory.
honey.
What are we doing here?
I'm just fixing your bag.
Oh, that's.
As I'm poking it with a sticky finger, it's slowly starting to seal up, like the rips and everything, and like the stitching, the crude stitching is just popping out of it as the bag starts to mend itself. Like, I'm really sorry about your backpack.
It's fine. It wasn't your fault. You didn't know you were gonna pop out of my bag. So
I didn't.
that's fine. You didn't even know I had put you in there. I didn't know.
No.
When you leave a miniaturized return teleportation statue of someone, there really should be instructions written on the bottom or something.
It was a statue? Was it a cool statue?
It was pretty cool. You know,
I didn't get to see a statue.
It was a cute little, tchotchke kind of Gloriosa little statuette.
I love that.
Wait, help me remember, DM. Was it a little statuette of Glory?
It was a little, not quite voodoo doll sort of thing, but an image of Gloriosa. Yes.
Right. I mean,
Love that.
the realism needed some work, but we all knew that this was a little cartoon Glory figurine.
I'm picturing like red yarn for the hair, like Raggedy Ann style.
So yeah, I knew it was important. I just didn't know it was
Placeholder.
yeah, placeholder, functional. Sorry, I didn't mean to put you in a bag.
I came out.
And we're glad you did.
Yes.
Oh,
My bag.
Robin, you have some honey on your bag. Let me get it.
Oh, okay.
And we'll damp their finger and wipe the honey off. And then eat it.
Thanks.
Delicious.
Tish is a total trash panda when it comes to food.
Oh, we know.
But enjoys
Don't say.
learning about the different foods.
Well, but are we all collected then?
I think we're good to go.
All right.
So when you actually like look around the table to take stock of everything, Alma has stepped away. It looks like over to where the innkeep is and is asking a question.
Right.
So she may be a moment.
All right. Well, I did promise that we'd talk in the morning. It didn't seem like a good setting last night. So, I'm glad.
Before we I'm sorry, I don't mean to interrupt you, but like before we get into it, do you think we could use like your tiny hut?
That's exactly what I was thinking of.
Okay, good, because scrying is a thing and like magical listening and like I just can't.
I'd much rather have this
Very private.
Private room. And I don't mean a paid private room. I mean an actual legit cannot be seen or heard private room. In my experience, when they charge you for a private room, they're also charging someone else to listen in. In most establishments I've been in, that is. I mean, that's just good business, double dip,
I wouldn't. So I wouldn't base the general tavern and inn experience on the places where you've spent a good amount of time,
Right,
my
right.
friend.
But when you think about it, most innkeepers, especially those that are in to make coin, they're not there to change the world or make everyone's life better. When you give your money to a bank, what does the bank do with your money? Sit it and make it like just sit alone and gather dust? No, they lend it out to someone else. Same thing with an inn. If you deposit your secrets in an inn, they generally rent the secrets out to other people as well.
Ugh. Ugh.
It happens. It
I
happens.
know.
It's too real.
It's too real. But again, that's why carrying your own privacy around with you does help quite a bit. I'm guessing that's about the time that we see Alma finish up at the front desk.
Yep, as a matter of fact, it is.
Fantastic. All right.
It's okay. Alma missed Tish being a trash panda, so.
It's fine.
I'm sure it will happen again.
It's
Not
gonna
like it's
hurt.
the first time.
Yes.
That will not be a missed opportunity that will not be made up later. But in any case, as soon as Alma wraps up at the front desk and Robin finishes warning everybody about the secrets of back rooms and inns, that's when he'll say, all right, well, I promised that you deserve to hear some answers this morning, and so you'll get them. So he says, I think there's a space out back, or a little space between the buildings down an alley that I saw. And so Robin will start leading everybody that way.
All right, so down the alley, it is actually in between what seems to be a couple of residential buildings, but there aren't actually any windows on those particular sides of the buildings themselves. So you've got relative privacy as far as that goes.
All right. And that's when Robin will say, I haven't really done this trick much yet, but I think I figured out basically how it works. And so he pulls out this crystal bead, he starts rolling it between his hands, and he gets it going into this rhythm where it's like spinning between his hands, and he's, listen, do you want to know a secret? And as he pulls his hands apart, the bead spins in the air in front of him and expands and encases all of us. And the bead's dome is now this kind of purple-green shimmer around all of us. Now we can see out of it, but it looks like we're looking through tinted glass. And where Robin had released the bead, there's like a tiny light that's illuminating the room that we're in. But outside, it's all like this. The dome looks this kind of purple and green tint, and outside we can see everything as the glass.
Wow, Robin, nice glass work.
It's technically not, and he will like walk to the edge and like pass his hand through, and then pull it back and go, "Yep." So it's working for us, but as far as I know, if this spell does what it says on the tin, no one can see us, no one can hear us, and no one can find us in here.
Oh.
Can I poke it?
Go for it.
Yeah, Gloriosa is immediately like poking a finger at it and like putting her arm through it. And
So it is a force effect. So it is essentially a force field as far as that goes. That is very firm, and it is opaque from the outside, but it is transparent from the inside, so you can still see out of it.
Oh.
But
So people-
only those of us that were inside when I cast it can walk in and out. Everybody else locked out.
Oh.
And I don't know what happens, but one part of the warning in the instructions was very clear. Don't try to cast other spells inside here. Well,
Okay.
don't try to cast other spells at the barrier while you're inside. I hear that's really bad.
Okay.
Can Orion still be here?
Oh, no, Ryan's fine. Something makes me think, like, you don't want to throw a lot of things around in a small room because they bounce.
Oh,
I think
see.
it's more of like, I don't think we can cast spells to reach the outside. I think they will just stay bouncing around in here, and we don't want that so much.
So Finn, is it decorated inside, or is it just like a?
Oh,
No,
yes,
this is me asking out of
Okay,
character.
sorry.
Just using the right one. Yeah, we're good. Good call though. No, it's not decorated inside. It's just it is. There's no decor. There's no nothing. There's just this fills the space. It's 10 feet in diameter, so we have enough comfortable space to like move around and sit. But it's just a 10 not 10 foot diameter, 10 foot radius. There's a 10 foot radius dome around us that we can see out of, but is completely opaque from the outside, and we can move in and out of. And scry proof, so yay, because magic effects can't pass through it.
Nice.
And that's when, so Robin will cast that after a little bit of, seems to have worked for once. He'll actually sit down on the ground in the middle of this thing and say, so I know that you're very familiar with the fact that I'm not opposed to dishonesty when it's useful.
Yeah.
However, I am not trying to be dishonest with you. And in general, other than, temporary lapses, I try not to be dishonest with all of you. That doesn't mean I tell you everything, nor do I expect you to tell me everything, but there comes a time when it becomes important. That being said, I know my word alone is not ironclad. If you feel like you have to remove my option to be dishonest, for today you have my consent.
What is that? What are you trying to say?
If anyone wants to cast a zone of truth, because I know that I've told a lot of stories, this one might not seem grounded the first time you hear it. So if you wanted to cast Zone of Truth, to know that I'm being honest with you today, anyone who can feel free. Today, I'll consent.
I don't have that power.
Robin looks around the room and his eyes settle on Alma, and he just kind of shrugs. You may not get another chance.
Alma. It needs to be talked about.
I hope you don't need it. Oh, no one else has to be honest with me, but I'll willingly give in to the enchantment today.
Do you know how this spell works? Because I can't do it on just one person. It's a 60-foot. It's going to encompass the entire. Everyone needs to. consent.
You mean you're not careful? You're not capable of being very careful with it? Do you have that meta magic option? Out of game, I can't remember. If you have careful spell, you can make it target not everyone.
So careful spell doesn't make it not target them. It gives them advantage on the saves.
Oh, I see. Okay, well that's fair.
So everyone would need to be okay with truth serum.
Well, Rob is letting you know he's ready to insta-fail it.
Glory.
I think it's a little bit overkill, but if you want to do it,
I mean,
There is always the option
you
to
have the
not
option to try to resist it. Just know that if you fail,
And even if you fail, you could just not answer. But for today,
you're
just
not compelled to speak. You just
whoa. Yes, I know how magic works. I've had Zone of Truth cast on me before. Like, I know how it works. I'm just saying that I think it's a little bit overkill. Like, we're
That's
supposed to be able to trust each other.
and I want everyone to trust each other.
Stop talking, Robin. I'm not done. I just think that if we are in a
There's the 30 seconds.
I just think that if we are in a place where we can't be listened to, and if we are not going to be honest with each other in this place, and if we need a truth zone, then maybe we might be a little bit broken as a team, and that might be a deeper issue. So I consent, but I don't think it should be needed. I think that
I hope if you feel like it is needed, it's the last time it's needed. I want you to know. I want all of you to know. I'm not asking you to trust me just because I say so right now. If you
almost
need
got
more
to
than
kind of like,
that,
she's gonna kind of tut Robin for a second and just look at Gloriosa and kind of lean in a little bit and be like, we can ask him anything. And if he chooses to answer, he has to tell us the truth. There's a lot of good stuff we could probably get out of him. And then she's gonna look over and just kind of grin at Robin.
I mean, you just get him drunk a little bit, and it's the same thing, honestly.
Fair.
Anyway, I'm fine with it. I just don't. I think it's overkill, and I think we need to be able to trust each other, at least to tell the truth to each other. And if it turns out that we're not telling the truth, that will be addressed at a later time with fire.
I feel like that because Robin is the one that offered, it is an extra sign of trust. If Alma were to go into this saying, no more lies, we're doing Zone of Truth, then that's where the overkill might come from.
I've got a lot to say that I want you to know is true. I don't want you to wonder if I was telling you the truth once we're done here. That's it.
Lunas.
I don't think there's a actual reason that we need to cast that. Robin wants to tell his truth, so I think we should let him and trust him.
Okay.
Just wanted to make sure you had the option and knew that I offered.
Appreciate that.
Note of the option has been taken. I'm not going to cast the spell. There's too many qualifiers on the I'm okay with it. That it's
It's
a reluctant consent, and I'm not for that.
It's not reluctant consent. It is, So, oh, you meant for the other party members. Got it.
Yeah.
No, yeah, of course. So then Robin will say, "All right, very well."
Take it away, Robin.
I'm always trying to make sure that I get out all right in every situation. Yes, I will fully admit I look out for number one. I can't help anyone if I can't help myself. I have extended what I see as myself to include the rest of you as well. I don't enjoy trying to get out of a situation alone, and I won't do it anymore. However, there was a time before you where there wasn't anyone to consider but me. And I did that on purpose. You were all very keen to ask me to calm down the night after the incident in the harbor with the fireball, with the ship and the warehouse. I understand, but Robin Wayfair first came to Dawn's Harbor from Nibiru by way of Lake Town. But Robin Wayfair never walked into Nibiru in the first place.
As you're telling your story, as Robin is telling his story, Glorious is going to sit down next to him and sort of reach over and start rubbing his back and sort of giving him unspoken sort of happy feels, support.
Robin Wayfair never walked into Nibiru. A thief and con man on the run named Sherman Docker broke into Nibiru.
That is where we are going to break.
Oh, good.
Strike? That's really rude.
It's incredibly rude.
On brand and it's on time. I like it.
So it is 5 to half an hour here on the East Coast, a little bit after 1. We are going to shoot for a 15-minute break, so we are going to hopefully be back by 1:45. We will be right here, so please come back and join us. Get up, get stretched, get some water, take a break, and we will be right back. Welcome back, everybody. Thank you for your patience with our little bit extended break. We got everything squared away. I have a bit of a nosebleed, so I apologize in advance if I sound a little bit weird. We're going to go ahead and jump right back in. Robin had just revealed to the party that Robin Wayfair is a relatively new addition to the world of Utharia, and that before that, he went by a different name. Go ahead and just pick right back up where we were.
Sherman was a desperate man. Break a human carrying stolen goods, sneaking into Nibiru, is probably something that was only accomplished with a fair amount of luck. I'm not going to pretend that it was too much skill, but it wasn't my first time deceiving someone. So before that, I was a resident of Don's Harbor. Those poor children running up and down the docks every day were me. Just me and my dad. Working to make sure that things got run to and fro between the ships and the dockyards and the storehouses up and down the docks. That's just what we were. We were just a couple of plankers. We spent more time on the planks than we did on the land. That's Mom passed before I could remember much more than that she was there. And it wasn't a lot. It was predictable. I wanted my way out, though. So, unsurprisingly, every moment that I didn't have to go pick up a shift for someone that either needed an extra hand and needed it on the cheap, or Dad just needed a little bit of extra coin, I would figure out how to rig the games in the back alleys. I would figure out how to make a distraction in the taverns so that I could pick up on whatever take was running that night. It was easy for a child and then a young man to be a accessory. And so that's how I made my way. Dad didn't like it, but he also couldn't argue that we were barely scraping. Until Dad got promoted to the supervisor, senior manager, whatever you want to call it, head box counter is what it really amounts to at a warehouse run by Shafsaka, a particular guild based here in Lumia. He saw it as our ticket out of poverty, and I saw it as our shackles to the docks, because they were going to keep him on the pay, but they were going to keep him. He wasn't going to leave. He was going to keep working for long hours and less than he deserved, and I wasn't going to stay around. I wanted him to come with me. I wanted him to leave, maybe even leave Don's Harbor, but the old man wouldn't. So I had to leave without him. Problem was, if I left without him, I would need to find a way that wouldn't get him in trouble as well, because none of my ways of getting out were going to be honest. I did whatever work they wanted me to do at Shafsaka because I was Martin's boy. And so I got a lot of chips and a lot of ins on being Martin's boy until one day there was a job that required taking quite a bit of goods away from Don's Harbor and coming back with the collection. They sent two of us. One of their junior clerks and someone who knew how to double check and triple check the manifest so that nothing got pinched. Well, my partner in that endeavor went back to their superiors when the job was done. But he had to go back saying that his partner pinched the profits and took off. They were going to be looking for Martin because they were going to be hunting for Martin's son. So I needed to make sure that Martin's son couldn't be found. No one finds anything in Nibiru. Not unless they know where it is. So the goal was to get into Elfland or die trying. Luckily, I am just so entertaining. And people need parties in Nibiru. Another bard who was something of a party organizer saw that he could get some cheap help if he hid me. So he did. Couple years of training and a couple of magical procedures later, I walk out with a new name and a new face. Sherman was not pretty. Not as pretty. Thank you, Glory. But I knew that that was the only way to keep Martin from getting hurt, and the only way I could get out. So I made a life for myself. Pissing off the aristocrats, more or less, half the time, by just doing whatever I could to give them the party they wanted and all the drama that they needed for the next week, while they talked about who did what. Until eventually, yada, 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 love triangle. Time to leave Nibiru. And after swindling in Lake Town as much as I could, eventually it was back home to Don's Harbor. Only this time, I'm not going back to the docks. Unfortunately, some people's memories are a little too good and a little too long. And so somewhere after I met a certain very desperate Dragonborn and acquired some symbiotic relationship of muscle and wits, a half-elf tinkerer decided that she recognized me.
I don't think it was unfortunate at all.
Well, thank you for not blowing my cover up until now. I just needed to get by. I just needed coin. I just needed to live a life that wasn't on the docks for my whole life. And one thing led to another, and it seemed like all of our goals aligned. So we were in it for the gold. We were in it for the adventure. That's all it really was. Until a job to protect what turned out to be a lying bitch landed us at the docks, and half of a cargo vessel went through the Shafsika warehouse. Thankfully, Martin wasn't there that night that the fireball went off. But in case you needed to know that it wasn't about you. And there it is. You couldn't have known. But had it not been for a strange cold that had Martin walk home early one night, he could have been in the office. He's fine, it turns out. But it did throw everything into more of a focus. I thought I had left him behind in Don's Harbor to fend for himself, but now I found myself in the middle of something that is coming for everyone in Don's Harbor, everyone in Lumia, everyone in Nabiri. And I really like getting out of the way. As soon as that trouble comes up, we just really need to stay out of its way. But this time there's a bit of a weight to it. If we get out of the way, we're responsible for who it hits. So it was time to run. And the only thing I knew how to do when running is just keep lying. Keep hiding, keep lying, keep moving. We all know where that led us. Because I died. Lunez certainly died. And at that point, I could not ask you to listen to my plans anymore. Unless you knew what the plan was before you went into it. You deserve to know what you're going into before you're going into it. But it was probably best for you not to know as we were walking into Lumia that Shafsiko still does not quite like the idea of Sherman Docker. We would like for his crimes to go to the grave with him, the imaginary grave where he was sent. So I was just going to be the best and most honest Robin I could be to all of you from that point on. And then we had this little incident with the fanatics, the zealots. They are responsible for their own actions. And no, I don't feel any sympathy or camaraderie with them. They hate the goddess of fate. Same, but also get in line. Because when you're the goddess of fate, well, that kind of does make everything your fault, doesn't it? The fact that it didn't go differently meant that you didn't make it go differently. And that's why my mother brined at the bottom of the ocean while we scraped by. And that's why my father is still scared to work for more than peanuts, and why giant dragons are threatening anyone who doesn't have the strength to oppose them. However, these guys look to kill Vitune's servants? That's like striking at the house staff because you hate the master. That doesn't make sense. Servants of Vitune are victims of Vitune, and you're just going to kill them to spite Vitune? They're part of the problem, and I don't cry for them. But we can't stand between what's coming and who these dragons are going to hurt if we keep secrets and we go rogue. And I knew that if we are going to ask that from each other, you all should know what I'm carrying into this and how I plan to get out. Me surviving to the end of this is optional. I'll admit that. But if I'm going to go out, it's going to be protecting one of you or anyone in the line of fire of the dragons. Because in the best of circumstances, in a time of peace, would be gone before any of you. I am the most fleeting here. And that's fine. I'm not here for a long time. I'm here for a good time. But that means if this work continues at the loss of one of us, I want the rest of you to keep going and finish it. But we can't do that if we go rogue on each other. I did. I went rogue. I tried to pull a fast one on dragons. And regardless of my intentions, regardless of how much I thought I was protecting you, it wasn't fair to you that I did it without letting you all know. Same goes for Alma trying to handle the zealots on her own. We simply can't do that anymore. So, there you are. I am Robin Wayfair. Before anyone starts to ask about real names, that's the real name. It's the name that I chose. Because I will not be a boy on the docks for the rest of my life. But you know where he came from. And in wherever he's going, I'd like to go there with you.
Well, shit. The only problem I have with this is that you think that you are somehow less than our lives.
Yeah, no, you're not disposable, Robin. End of story.
I mean, irreplaceable, maybe.
Robin, and I try to reach out for your hand.
Not gonna resist.
Okay, so I just hold your hand with my hand and I just look into your eyes and say, "You matter, friend. You have worth, and we all love you, and we appreciate all you've done for us. But to say that you don't, that's just ridiculous." So you're here with us, you matter, and we love you.
Okay. I really am going to try not to die. Like, I just want that to be clear. I'm going to give it my best.
We would really appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah, agreed.
Robin, you are one of the most interesting humanoids that we've met. And we've met a lot. But we've never wanted to stick around like we do with you and this family you have.
And I hope that doesn't get you into more trouble than it's worth.
I don't know. If anything, I'm the real villain here for blackmailing you, and I'm sorry for that, Robin.
Game recognizes.
So it turns out at this particular moment, there are a lot of footfalls in and around the back alley where you are all currently sitting inside this hut. If everyone would like to give me a perception check.
Slightly.
Oh, wow. Really? 19.
So very appropriate that I rolled a 1 on that.
A 12.
Robin is not paying attention to anything other than his friends. You know what? In fact, I'm going to leverage storytelling on that roll and say Robin rolled a 1 on his perception because he is looking at Alma, waiting to hear what she has to say on all of it. And so Robin misses any of his footfalls or whatever's happening outside the hut. Robin, don't clock it.
Dirty 20.
That's a 10 for me.
Okay, so Lunez and Gloriosa, perhaps in part because you're maybe a half step removed from some of these revelations, maybe because you're just more used to sort of paying attention as things are going on. You'll hear, footfalls and sorts of things going on, but you also hear hounds, actual dogs that are sniffing around and barking, and it sounds like a search party in and around the area that you are at. They're not in the alleyway you're in at the moment, but they are close.
All right. Okay, so before we say anything else, I think there's somebody looking for us.
Looking for somebody.
We're looking for somebody, yeah.
I mean, it doesn't always have to be all about us. It's not like we're the main characters of the whole world or anything.
Am I the main character? I mean, no.
Always Lunez. It's because you have the cookies. The cookies are what help make you the main character.
That was Robo.
Oh.
Not
Yes, yes, you
No,
are.
headcanon accepted. No, no take backs.
No.
The main character in all of our lives, Robo.
No, love you all. No.
Yeah, so we maybe have to I don't know, they can't find us in here. We could have a heart-to-heart with like dogs barking in the background, people looking for us, but
They're not going to find us. They're going to find a dome in the back alley. They can't get into it for another... How long have we been in here?
Or maybe an hour and a half.
They can't get into it for another 7 hours, and they can't tell who's in it for us or hear anything we say for another 7 hours, but they'll definitely see a dome back here.
Okay. We can just keep talking. You said that we cannot cast anything. Does that actually mean ritual spells?
We can't cast spells out of this thing. Nope, we can't fire from the inside.
Okay. Can I cast a spell on me?
Should be. You're casting on something that's in the same room that you're in. So yeah, it should work just fine. You're not trying to pass through the barrier.
Okay. I'm gonna ritual cast while you keep talking or whatever. I'm gonna keep ritual cast speak with animals
Okay.
on myself. Um yeah, and can I use oh no, I actually cannot do it. All right, I'm gonna do that.
Are you trying to hear what the dogs are saying?
Yeah.
I love this.
So I'm just gonna try to see if I can hear dogs talking about what they're looking for or whatever.
Okay.
Fantastic.
Let me see.
Haha, strike, now you have to talk for the dogs.
Aha!
Didn't see that one coming.
That was my plan the whole time.
I mean, admittedly, I don't put any of these things past you.
You triggered my trap card.
Okay. Give me a perception check, Lumiz.
Dirty 20.
Okay. So these hounds are relatively intelligent as far as animals go, but they're still animals fundamentally. They seem to be working each other up into a lather, trying to find a specific scent, and they're communicating back and forth on where that scent is going. Okay, over this way. No, this way, this way. So there's a lot of that kind of talk that is going on. But you're also hearing more humanoid voices of what you presume are the dog's handlers as far as the search goes. Has anyone checked down this alley yet? No, we haven't gone this way yet. All right, I'm gonna take my squad this way. You check down that way, and if we still don't find anything, we'll meet back up.
Okay. So it seems like the dogs are following a scent, and they have handlers, and they have different squads. So there might be a lot of people. Did we pay the tavern keep?
I paid my tab. Or we paid in advance, did we not? We paid the night before.
You paid for the room the night before, yes.
Do you think they might be looking for the people who, I don't know, murdered somebody?
Wait,
Yep.
wait, did you guys do anything with the bodies after Gloria and I left?
Nope. We're kind of new at this killing
All they're
thing.
gonna find is a pile of ash.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, you
That's
burned
something.
them.
We need to talk about the murder thing. Because please don't be murderers, but if you're going to be murderers, please be better murderers.
Well, what did you expect? This is our first time actually killing a.
No, it's actually not a funny thing. But stop with the murdering, because this is probably what the result of that is. Just
They were
saying.
trying to kill Alma. I'm not gonna
That's
apologize for somebody trying to kill my sister.
No, their blood's on their hands. That's true. That's fair.
Not if they were sitting there helpless when you killed them.
They were not helpless. We were just faster than them.
They were not helpless. They were not helpless.
They were anything but helpless.
So I'm just going to remind Babs and Robo that they were unconscious and on the floor when the disemboweling happened.
They put themselves, they chose to swallow that.
Their
ate the
decision
thing.
to be in a situation where that happened and all of that is a legitimate argument to have.
Mhm.
However, I do want to mention that, like, this was not they were killed in the act of trying to fight back. This was they were out and already dealt with, and they were killed at that point.
Hey,
Just reminding everyone of what exactly happened.
technicalities being what they are, that they were technically unconscious and all those things. I feel like we need to
Are you
broaden.
saying this in character? Like, are you really saying this right now?
Yes. Technicalities be what they are. You have to consider everything in the big picture, that this person put the literal key to our friend's safety inside of them. They left us no choice but to go get it.
Yeah. Potato, tomato.
We were not about to wait.
They were subdued. The key would come out if you just waited a minute.
Okay.
You know how long we have?
They were subdued on the ground. That is murder. I understand that you don't view it that way, but it is the definition of murdering somebody helpless. They were helpless. They were unconscious. Also, again, with the not being good at it, like, now you're dragging everybody into your awful, like, not thought out plans. And it's really, really starting to get irritating. So just going to say that.
In our defense, we are usually a lot better than this.
At this
No,
point,
you're really not.
At this point, Alma is going to stand and look at Glory, which is, she's the tallest of the party, so it's just kind of like one of those things. Let me ask you this. What happens when it happens again? These were just...
What happens again?
No. What
I'm
happens
listening.
next time they come for me? Because they will. There's not been one of me in probably millennia.
Next time they come for you.
Stop it, Robin.
They will come for me.
Alma, I know they will come for you, and I am
They
interested.
will try to kill me. All of them are going to try to kill me. Because as Vitune told me when I met with her, I am the tap on the glass of the sand timer.
Mm-hmm.
There has been there's a ball of sand blocking the way things are supposed to go, and I am the tap on that glass. They don't want the tap to happen. They don't want me to be here. They don't want me to try to keep the peace in the wefts of fate. Because here's the thing that all of you need to understand, and she glances over at Robin. There's still free will. She does not say who lives and who dies and what happens and what doesn't happen. She makes sure that the threads don't get tangled, that the loom, and yes, it is a loom. It is gorgeous and it is amazing in its intricacies and just this, that comes out of such a simplistic design. But she is there to make sure that it doesn't get tangled, to make sure that it doesn't get interfered with by her or anyone else. So
Where in that situation is cutting open an unconscious person who is helpless, who is neutralized?
Because
we could have gotten information from them.
Because
we could have gotten more from them.
Because I was tasked by Nibiri to watch out for Alma because of who and what she is. If you want to blame anyone for the murder, you blame me.
What would you have done had they succeeded in killing me?
I would have gone to hell and back to get you back. You know that. You don't even have to question it. That's not what's at issue.
Had I known what I was walking into, I did kind of accomplish what it is that I set out to do.
Well, good for you, but you didn't know what you were walking into, and we came and we helped you. We got you out of a box that you were trapped in.
Glory.
Okay? You need your friends. You can't just run off by yourself and expect this whole entire web of people against you to just sit by and let you do it. You need your friends. You need to stay with us. You need to communicate with us. And yes, when it's time, you need to make decisions for the right cause. Otherwise, you're no better than them.
Nobody
You
cares
are no
or gives a
better
shit
than them.
if I live or die. Nobody.
Excuse me, who are you sitting here with? I am tired of trying to clean up messes of people who don't care about anyone other than themselves. I can't even speak. I'm so tired of it. We are heroes. We don't kill people in cold blood. I don't care if they are the last vestige of the most evil organization that has ever existed in the history of the world. We don't kill people in cold blood. And what you did to that person back there was cold blood. They were neutralized. They were not a threat. They may have been one in the future, and you sure as fuck ended that. But you know what? That's not what we do here. Or we are no better than them.
So you wanted me to remain bound until
No,
they
you were unbound.
got out a key?
Oh my God.
No, this is what you're saying. You're still bound to your fucking virtues and your inability to see the fact that these people would have killed me. I did what I did to try to figure out what the fuck is going on with me. And when I got a whiff of the fact that things could go wrong, that's when I sent the barkeep. I told them specifically to look for Robin, because if something had gone wrong, which I had a feeling it was going to, I would at least have you guys.
You are so in love with your image of lonely destiny and being the first of whatever you are in millennia that it clouds everything that you do. You are so convinced that you have to do this all by yourself and that you are the only one who knows how to fucking do it, even though you don't know anything about your goddamn self. You are so married to that idea, to that ego, that you can't see past it, Alma, and it's going to kill you. You need your friends, and you need the virtues that come with your friends. Because right now, your vision is so clouded, I don't think you know your ass from your elbow. Robin, I think you had something to say, and I'm sorry I snapped at you.
I may. Lori, no one here revels in murder. No one likes it. No one takes it lightly. And we will not do it for gain. He looks around the group. I believe that's agreed, that we will not murder for gain. Yes?
Absolutely.
No.
Yeah.
It is not fun. It's a job.
Tish, who took on that responsibility themselves, and who owns that responsibility, I hear. Had two options. An uncertain future for Alma,
While we waited for them to poop out the key.
or a certain future that would certainly require death. Now, Tish did not like the latter option because of the certain death, but she could not live with the former option because of the uncertain future for all. And while we can all talk about right and wrong, the right decision
The most logical decision.
shifts based on where your friends are, where your heart is. And while we will all hold each other accountable, we know that we don't all hold each other's burdens. And in that moment, the burden of the sword was Tish's to bear, and she swung. We will make sure that each other are okay, that we are okay with each other. And while we can talk about what we might want to do differently in the future, discuss other options should we ever unfortunately be in some kind of situation like that again, there is not a point in punishing or hashing out who is the most wrong here. When it comes to you needing our friends and needing people around, I agree with you that Alma, you need someone watching your back.
I think we all need someone watching our backs.
It's
We
true.
all do.
We do. And contrary to popular, or not contrary to popular belief, contrary to previous statements, people in this bubble give a shit whether you live or die. And
And I'm just saying, making people throw up is an option. Like, maybe you don't know about anatomy, Tish. Like, because like, I think maybe you can like just talk to us next time. Maybe we can hash it out. Like, the puking is an option.
As we
Okay.
much
for an apothecary and pick up some Epicat. Who knows? But
Sorry, I didn't, Alma. What?
I said, Alma's gonna go like, I love them, but have you met them?
right.
I
More
think
anatomy.
I'm just saying we could just discuss.
More anatomy, less medicine. However,
Right.
when it comes to what happens the next time they find you, Alma,
We kick their asses.
well, they damn well better find the rest of us, because this time they found you alone, and that's what we can't let happen. That is Glory's point. Yes, you found out late that you were in over your head, but you had every reason to know that you shouldn't have been there alone in the first place.
I'm gonna take responsibility on something. Tish asked me if we had to, we could, kill the person to take the key out of them. And I said yes. So I am also partially responsible, if not fully responsible, with Tish. But they were trying to kill Alma. When we opened that box, there was traces of gas inside of it. This was a time thing. If we were just waited for them to wake up and make them throw up or actually shit the thing, we could have lost Alma. I'm not taking that for granted. I don't want to kill. But if it needs to be like that, I am gonna kill for you.
There are some things we don't risk. And
if
all I needed to know was that we trust each other and that we don't go rogue from each other until we see this through. And I knew I couldn't ask you all for that without some reason to think that you needed to, or some reason to think that you could actually trust what came out of my mouth. So you officially have no more secrets from me.
And it is at this moment that the sound of dogs and sound of footfalls get even louder as what looks like half a dozen soldiers and at least as many dogs come barreling around the corner of one of the buildings. The lead soldier shouts, "There's a dome here. It looks magical. Bring the wizards. They should be able to dispel it. Whoever's in there, understand that you are being held on suspicion by Lumia Guard. If you come out with your hands up without your armaments, this can remain peaceful."
Okay,
Yeah.
so at that, oh, sorry.
Oh, I was going to say it. I was just going to go ahead and end it there. But if Glory's got something, what have you got for us?
Glory's got something. Glory is going to kind of jump up and be like, okay, just play, Robin, take off your clothes. And Glory's going to Glory's going to like half take off her shirt. And okay, I'm wearing underwear, so don't get too excited. And drop her skirt and kind of
Oh, we see where this is going.
Oh, this is not a bad play. This is actually.
Shh, be quiet. All right. And then Glory's gonna kind of lean, like there's nothing on her top except for like, I don't know, maybe a little bit of scrap fabric over here. Or no, she's gonna hold her shirt across her chest and kind of lean out and look around at the guards and just kind of stare. So we're in the, this is it's a quiet moment. Do you mind coming back later?
All right. And that is where we will go ahead and end it for this week.
Amazing.
And we'll let Glory put her shirt on next week, maybe.
Amazing.
What?
That was a quick play. I love it.
That was great.
All right. I want to go ahead and thank everyone, both cast and audience, for this. This has been a wonderful session. I am going to remind everyone who is in the audience that we have safety tools as part and parcel of this session and this game. There will also be check-ins and such after the fact that will happen off screen with the cast. But I want to make sure that everybody knows that, especially when you have a game or a session in which there are intense role play or intense feelings, that it is important, even with friends, even with people who trust each other on an implicit level, that you have those tools and those check-ins just to make sure that everybody is okay afterwards. These are games. They are supposed to be fun, and while they can certainly be intense, nobody needs to get hurt as a result of these sorts of things. So, with that said, I am going to go ahead and wave goodbye to everybody here. Thank you all for joining us. We will be back in 2 weeks, very likely with a special guest, which you can find out more about as we get closer.
We're
Keep an eye out
gonna
on the Twitters.
We're gonna raid Gen Con TV for their last day.
Ooh.
Excellent. So we're going to go ahead and rate Gen Con TV, give them a lot of love from us. They have some really fantastic stuff going on. I kind of wish I'd been able to sneak out to the con this weekend, but it just wasn't in the cards. We're going to go ahead and wrap here. So take care of yourselves, and
Wait,
we will
hang
see
on.
you in... Oh, yes, Robo.
Finn.
Thank you. All right, I wasn't gonna cut everything, but I do want to say everyone who has been super supportive of my family and my son Simon, I want to let you guys know we have taken a big step on his road, and we have a provider who we have full confidence in will help him through the next stage of care, and who is actually going to be advocating for the maximum amount of support we can get from our insurance, and from he will be appealing any steps along the way. And so we really hope to have we hope to have his procedure delivered by 2023. So thank you for all those who have given. If you find on my Twitter, my pinned post is the post about Simon's GoFundMe that we started. Seeing as it's not a done deal yet, and we have high hopes, but we are still looking to make sure that everything is as secure as we could be. I am going to still ask, if you are able to help in any small way, please help. If you are able to signal boost, please signal boost. My promise is that if we do find out that we have a more favorable outcome, and we aren't as desperate in need of all of the support that comes in. Anything that anyone gives to support Simon that turns out in excess once Simon's procedure is done and he has recovered, we will be taking those funds in excess and moving it straight over to other GoFundMes and other campaigns of people trying to get the transitional care in their lives. So thank you guys, everyone. You can find Simon's GoFundMe. Please continue to give and to boost that, and just know that you're helping get a young trans male over this step in his journey, and the momentum that you guys build will push on to others seeking transitional care in the future.
All right. That is wonderful news. The link to the GoFundMe is in the chat. If you are looking for it, you can also find it in Finn's pinned tweet on Twitter. We're going to go ahead and duck out here. Keep an eye out for the giveaway coming later on, probably this week, maybe early next. If you are subscribed at any point before that giveaway gets drawn, you are eligible. We will announce on Twitters and probably on a stream at some point as to who the winner is, and we'll go from there.
Yep.
Thank you all for joining us. We will see you in 2 weeks.